What's up, you guys? Sean Ross Sapp, managing editor of Fightful.com, FightfulWrestling.com, where you can get all of your free wrestling news, exclusives, podcasts. We have quickly become already one of the top news breakers in professional wrestling. Remarkable with our accuracy. Also, we have FightfulSelect.com, our premium service. Maybe all the free wrestling content, the exclusives aren't enough for you. You want more. We've got a ton of podcasts over there. Alternate commentary, dark match commentary. Me and Jimmy doing commentary on matches out of his archives. We also have the Fightful Select Weekender podcast, which is basically a review of everything that is not SmackDown and Raw. And a bit of a companion piece with that, I'm happy to announce. Mr. Warren Hayes, who does the retro reviews with me, has started a new NXT and 205 Live review show. This week's will be free to non-subscribers. Give you a little bit of a preview. Then every Wednesday he will review NXT and 205 Live. That will lighten my load a little bit for the weekender, but I still talk Impact, Lucha Underground, Ring of Honor, and I will talk some stuff from 205 and NXT, as Alex has informed me on his first full night on the job. He'll be watching Itami and Cedric on the other screen, and I don't blame him. But we have If It Were a Work, If It Were a Shoot, a show where I break down UFC and WWE cards if they were the opposite. It's a really neat concept. Check it out. We have members-only shows. We have all kinds of stuff. Q&A podcast goes up this week. Lots of stuff at FightfulSelect.com. Just head over there, check it out, see if you like it. We also have a playlist on YouTube available called Fightful Select Free Previews that basically collects all that and lets you preview the service for free. Hot dog. I dropped those Smackdown spoilers tonight. And I'll say this. I spoil you all. Literally and figuratively. Because while this show wasn't as bad as Raw, I will say that as a whole, there was more on WWE Raw that mattered than SmackDown. And that ain't saying a lot, Alex.
No, it is not. I just wanted to say right off the bat, this is my first official night as part of Team Blue. I decided to dress the part.
Oh, son of a bitch.
Because, you know, as we've seen from Survivor Series, if you're not wearing the colors of the thing you're representing, people will get confused. And who are you? What side are you on? Well, I'm on both sides now. I'm playing both sides. But yeah, this was pretty standard at this point in WWE. It's their standard go-home show. Hey, you guys are fighting this Sunday. Why don't you get a few jabs in? And oh my God, blank has pinned the champion. And there's a lot of that. And we're gonna set the stipulation here. It's the dog bleep stipulation, but we're gonna set it here anyway. Yeah, it's that kind of stuff that gets me really looking forward to Extreme Rules.
WWE Monday Night Raw achieved some of their lowest viewership of all time last night.
Yeah.
Not a big shock. There are some segments that did well. Like the thing is, it's hard to quantify how many people are watching Raw because now more than ever we have the DVR era.
Yep.
We have YouTube. There's Hulu. Also, Nielsen sucks. To be quite frank, Nielsen really, really sucks.
It's so outdated. It's just not how people. No, it's just not.
I was like 17 years old and looking and going, why the hell do people use quarter hours? It doesn't. Yeah. In fact, I'm reading the new WCW Nitro book by Guy Evans, which I highly recommend. I'm going to do a review on it. But he actually talked about how one Los Angeles news station manipulated during sweeps, I believe it was, by running a story about Nielsen families. So Nielsen families would be like, oh shit, let me tune into that. And
I gotta watch that.
And it manipulated the ratings. It is a really archaic, crappy thing. However, WWE's lowest ratings blow away whatever else would be in that time slot on Fox on a Friday, on USA. You know, USA's putting a lot of eggs in the Grizzly basket these days. And I'll be honest with you.
So many eggs in such a small basket.
Yeah, and oh my God, it's such a terrible show, and I have friends that love it, and I'm like, man, pretty bad. It's pretty bad. They are very fortunate if they hit 1.34 million. I mean, they're throwing parties when they hit 1.6 million.
Yeah.
The most that Grizzly, USA's top show outside of Raw, has done, 2.25 million. Raw, at their worst point of their worst show, is hitting 2.3 million.
Yeah.
Now, I get the feeling that Grizzly ain't getting $1 billion TV deal anytime soon.
God, you never know with that guy. He got 2 shows out of this. Who knows what that guy's been working with the devil, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. I can't believe that show still exists, but
yeah.
Hey, that gives me hope for Miz and Mrs. I hope they do great.
That's good. I'll tell you this, it's not going to be a worse show than Grizzly.
You're damn right. You're damn right. So, a lot of people, there was a lot made of this number last night. Do you think SmackDown beats Raw in viewership this week?
I mean, there really wasn't anything to get them excited for. Like, we'll talk about this when we get to it, but we've seen AJ versus Shinsuke. We've seen it. It's not like gotta tune in and watch that thing for the 1,000th time ever. I don't think there was anything. I mean, to their credit, at least they advertised a whole bunch of stuff that was supposed to be on the show, and then they were like, ooh, whoops, looks like we're running long. Have them concoct a story where Samoa Joe laid out Ty Dillinger backstage for no reason, so we don't have to do their 7-minute match.
Speaking of, SmackDown has been doing about 2.1 to 2.2 million, so I highly doubt they will. Somebody on our live chat says Mr. Robot is USA's best show. It is a great show, but it also does 1/3 the viewership of Grizzly, which is incredibly disheartening.
Yeah. It's a much better show, but people don't watch it.
Yeah. I mean, I watch all kinds of stuff that is really terrible. The Sinner did last summer about what Grizzly does, except for the finale. It blew everything out of the water at 2.44 million. That should really explain to you guys how important wrestling programming is to some of these people.
Yeah.
It's huge numbers on their network that they can use for whatever they want. They're making money off of this regardless.
Yep.
Oh my God. Let's go ahead and talk SmackDown live. We start off with Miz TV. He welcomes, and I mean really, like heartily welcomes Team Hell No out there. Daniel Bryan and Kane join Miz, who is quick to say, guys, let's throw everything aside. I'm here for the show. But then he plays clips of Miz and Daniel Bryan disagreeing. They know what's up. They see the writing on the wall.
Yep.
And Kane wants Daniel Bryan to focus. Keep in mind, Miz claims that this is like Team Hell No reuniting is like NSYNC reuniting, which is a recurring theme throughout this show. Kane says that NSYNC will never reunite because Justin Timberlake is too big. First off, will NSYNC ever reunite?
No.
More than a one-off, I agree.
No, I know. He might be like, hey, guys, I'm going to play the Super Bowl again this year. And I was thinking we did like 17 bars of Bye, Bye, Bye. You want to show up? And I'm pretty sure Chris Kirkpatrick, like his schedule's clear.
And then you'll disappear into the ground again.
Yeah.
I'm going to need you guys to appear and disappear via the ground. Yep. Nobody can see you walking away. You'll just have to disappear.
Yeah. I mean, this is almost 20 years ago was NSYNC's heyday. They're done. That's fine. They're done.
They are done, in fact. So, Miz, Daniel Bryan, Kane, Miz is trying to get them riled up. It doesn't work. But Sanity and Bludgeon Brothers show up and jump Team Hell No. They're saved by members of the New Day, but that doesn't last long as they get beat down too. Sanity uses a finish remarkably similar to the Magic Killer, which is more of a power slam than what the club do, but I'm still thinking that's awfully close.
No, that was their finisher back when Sawyer Fulton was part of the trio. Like he was doing the Dane.
Yeah, I was going to say Magic Killer was around much longer than that.
Oh, what I'm saying is that it's not like they brought it out tonight for the first time. They haven't done it in forever. And I think it was problems have been like, hey, we want you guys to have a really cool, intimidating tag team finishing move. What is it? Well, usually I just run at people really fast and I smash them. Okay, well, you could do that too, but find something else to do, Killian. And they did this. Okay, fine. This is a great beatdown. It helps re-up Sanity's stock. I'm here for that. I did find it funny that Miz was at some point was like, don't you know I want to be the guy who retires you for good and all that kind of stuff is part of this. They're at least keeping that going because I mean, I don't know how long this Team Hell No reunion lasts. I mean, listen, unpopular opinion alert. It lasted too long the first time they got together 3 weeks ago, whenever it was for me. I nostalgia is great and everything, but at this point you're deliberately finding ways to keep Daniel Bryan away from the main event scene of SmackDown or away from the Miz.
And until he signs a contract, they probably should.
Well, yes, but they're certainly not giving him any incentive to be like,
but at the same time, at the same time, Brock Lesnar's in a different category as it pertains to a draw, but they got a guy who doesn't have much of a deal who is actively leaving the company.
Yeah, it's true. I would just if they screw it up and he leaves before having a one-on-one with the Miz, like, come on, guys, like you had him diddling around with Big Cass for forever. And now he's back together with Kane, who isn't he like the mayor of something?
So Team Hell No's rise and fall, I think, is a real sign of WWE just failing to tell good stories, dating back to 2014, and having storybook endings like they used to have. Very rarely do you just see, wow, what a happy ending, and then we go from there. Like Shawn Michaels winning the WWF Championship in 1996, and the boyhood dream has come true. Stone Cold Steve Austin culminating his run. Now, Daniel Bryan won the title, but right after that, they went into the Kane thing, and it's just like that wasn't the most important thing on the show. Yeah. I really thought Kane should have been working from within to take down the Authority to help out his buddy, and just sabotaging things all along. That keeps him over. It gets Daniel Bryan over. And then maybe he wants the favor afterwards. Then you can do a turn. But I see what they're doing. Daniel Bryan hasn't signed a contract, so fair, whatever. Adam Pearce and Fit Finlay come out and try to break up this fight. AJ Styles defeated Shinsuke Nakamura via DQ. This match is happening again. And honestly, it wasn't a bad match or anything. I thought Nakamura was on during this match. But the highlight was Rusev on commentary. Rusev is phenomenal on commentary. He says, quote, I came out on a tank. How many people came out on a tank? End quote. DX did.
Right.
But other than that, that's pretty good company.
Yeah. No, there's your, I mean, that's the answer to his question. And I think that we need to remember that Rusev came out on a tank to face John Cena at WrestleMania. He was undefeated for a year. He was an absolute monster heel, and over the a few years after that, they completely nerfed him to the point where he got himself over as a comedy act babyface with a cast-off former tag team member as his hype man. And they're like, "Wow, you guys, you're selling a lot of merch. Hey, how about we have you have your first ever WWE Championship shot? And get this, we're going to make you into a giant heel again after you got yourself over as a babyface." Like, he's one of the most popular guys on the show, like organically popular, like doing only him being himself. Like, if you watch him if you look at his stuff on social media, the guy's a star. He's just so fun. And no, we got to make him into the big bad Russian again. Okay, I guess.
Man, they're going to render this guy to where he is as over in 2018 as the Quad City DJs. Can't wait. He also says, quote, I can't remember who asked him about the calf crusher, but Rusev said,
that's so good.
Sheamus tried to put me in a calf thing and he couldn't. They're too big. Follow me on Instagram and see how big my calves are, end quote.
I love that he says, I have 4 different escapes for the calf crusher. I hope that AJ puts him in 4 different calf crushers and he gets out 4 different ways. Wouldn't it be great if they actually followed through on that? It'd be so cool to know that this guy, who's a giant brute and also, honestly, one of the funniest guys on the roster, is a technical wizard. That'd be so cool. I'd love that.
So this match, like I said, the content of the match were pretty good. Styles immediately cracks Nakamura with the big drop kick. During the commercial, Nakamura hits Styles with a knee. There's an Ushi-Goroshi. AJ struggled to get out of a triangle armbar, but Rusev steps in and causes the DQ. There was also a nice front suplex from Nakamura. Nakamura's about to clobber Styles, but Jeff Hardy makes the save. I'll tell you what, man, there aren't many people from a physical perspective, if I am in that ring getting my ass kicked by Nakamura and Rusev, that I want to see less than Jeff Hardy. And I'm like, oh my God, the walking mascot for sciatica is coming to save me. Oh no. Please. Oh my. My screen just got out of focus. What happened?
What happened? I don't know, man. You put Vaseline all over the lens? Oh, that's much better.
I've got that Mark Harmon lens going from NCIS. Jesus. I'm looking older by the day. Let's fix this. Okay, there we go. No camera trickery here at Fightful. I would never use a green screen on you guys. I would never use a card throwing machine on you guys. So Paige comes out, and it's a tag team match playa. Keeping the tradition alive on SmackDown, are we not?
Yeah. Yeah, this is fine. My only thing with this is that Paige is like, oh, well, hey, you know what? People are like, oh, she's shaking things up.
Yeah, that pissed me off so bad.
By creating a tag team the way the WWE has created tag team matches for years. That's literally the most of the ways they do it. But like AJ just wrestled a full match. Like there were like 2 commercial breaks. And like, well, since you guys are facing each other this Sunday, how about we have our WWE Tag Team Champion wrestle a 3rd match? Like he's just like it's so weird that it seems like kind of a punishment. And if he were to lose at Extreme Rules, you could have that be a part of a story that he was like really run down after having to wrestle for like 30 straight minutes on Tuesday. Maybe. I don't know. But he's not going to lose on Sunday. So
we'll talk about our predictions after we cover the show. Rusev and Nakamura defeated Hardy and Styles. There was a bear hug trade, essentially. That was whatever. Jeff Hardy hits his moves. I would take out that leg drop to the penis if I were him.
Don't need that.
He doesn't need that. Also, what is that splash that he's doing where he falls on the opponent?
I don't know.
Okay, so the motion that he's doing is it's a swan dive, essentially. He's just leaning, falling over. But he's just, he's not even jumping. At least on the live events when he doesn't do the swanton, he'll just jump up in the air and do a splash.
Yeah.
You got to get the title off this guy. So badly, you got to get the title off this guy. He is an entrance pop at this point.
Yeah. I mean, it's too bad because I really like the new thing with the face paint. That's fun. It's it's a callback to a certain time, and but yeah, as I said, after Shinsuke lost the last title match he had with AJ, drop him down the card, have him take the U.S. title off of Jeff Hardy, and keep it on him through the fall. I mean, I think that's a great thing. You can have there are a bunch of dudes who could chase it. You could have individually all three members of the New Day, like one after the other, get title shots. They could do a lot of fun things you could do because Shinsuke is great as this heel. When they turned him heel, I was like, wow, this is great. Like it's completely invigorated his character, and all he had him do was lose to AJ. I mean,
a
billion times. Also, you know, he hit people in the penis a lot. I mean, there was that.
He did. He dropped Jeff Hardy right on his penis. Machka kick won it. Rusev had also took out Styles of the Machka kick. This was average at best and still better than the lumberjack match. Backstage, Ellsworth tells Carmella that he has it handled and winks at her. She did not take kindly to this. I mean, Ellsworth, they have him going full-on sexist pig. And he's so corny, but I mean, he does it. He does it as well as he can. But Carmella does go off on him. He disrobes and asks for the respect of the women at ringside.
Mm-hmm.
They provide that respect, fortunately. Ellsworth leaves the ring to avoid Asuka's spinning back fist. I thought that was a nice callback from last week, how hard he got cracked by it. He was like, no, not this week. Not falling for that again.
No.
Or not even falling for it. Not getting hit with that again. Naomi and Becky throw him back in the ring, and he begs off. Sonya and Mandy just look at him and force him in the ring, which I thought was a nice touch. Asuka lands a kick, but whiffs with her running ass attack. I would say as far as SmackDown goes, I'd put Asuka about maybe third on the list in running ass attacks. And if I were Naomi, I would say, hey, maybe lay off of the running ass attacks. That's really all I have besides. That's what I got going for me.
She could say, hey, Asuka, listen, I call that the rear view.
No. They do. They call that the rear view. Meanwhile, I saw Hiromu Takahashi hit Dragon Lee with his ass so goddamn hard on Saturday night. I thought Dragon Lee was going to be the crippled one. That was nuts, man.
Yeah.
You can say what you want about that Phoenix Plex. Hiromu Takahashi hit Dragon Lee in the face with his ass bone so damn hard. It was unbelievable.
Yep.
Unbelievable. All the dragons. That would be great. Lumberjacks dressed as dragons. Give me that.
That'd be great.
Lumberjacks end up fighting. Becky catches Ellsworth. She and Naomi drag him back. The Lumberjacks attack again. This is sloppy as shit, Alex.
It's so bad. It's just Look, I mean, okay, so you have your paper champion Carmella, although she's been doing a lot better recently. But everyone knows she's not up to the level of her competition. So you bring back James Ellsworth to fill that role, and that's fine. But in all of this, it just makes Asuka look bad.
Yeah.
Like all this whole thing, like, and this is a thing, like somebody who's like, well, this is a good step toward intergender wrestling. If you're into that and you want that to see that in WWE, is like, well, yeah, but I mean, if this is intergender wrestling, then Asuka should beat James Ellsworth in 3 seconds. Like, because you see intergender wrestling in other promotions where, you know, really great women fight really great men and it's close. You know what I mean? Like, so it's a weird thing that, like, it cheapens the whole idea. And I think this is like Vince McMahon going, so you want to see intergender wrestling? Well, here it is. This is the best I got for you.
I think it's more just giving Carmella a heater. I think that's really just it. Asuka jumps on the pile, kicks Ellsworth into Carmella, rather. The Asuka lock wins it. This was not good.
Yeah, it was my favorite part was like, these women, they can't get along. They're all supposed to be lumberjacks. But, geez, they just, somebody said something about somebody's makeup, I'll bet, says Jerry Lawler from the comfort of his couch.
So before this finish, Carmella had tried to hand James Ellsworth a spray bottle. After the match, Carmella attacks and sprays it in, it being the bottle of whatever, or not the bottle, whatever's in the bottle,
it was in the bottle,
into Asuka's face.
Yes.
What do you think was in the bottle? Easy answer, arrogance cologne.
Well, if it's not arrogance, then it's, you know, something along those lines. A good idea. Arrogance is a good idea for the cologne. Yes. It's a perfume of some kind, perhaps a hair care product, some Aquanet in a little smaller version. It's the same basic idea. I think Miz and Maurice did this with Dolph Ziggler a couple years back, where there was a spray thing in his face, and
Omega made a living off of it for a while with the cold spray.
That's true. So I'm assuming we'll get into this stipulation as well. Gosh, I wonder if that's going to be dropped from the shark cage, suspended above the ring, and Carmella will try to get it, but Asuka will get it or something like so contrived.
So you boys at Fightful.com hitting you with that Raisin Bran, those scoops. Scoop of the century, James Ellsworth, Shark Cage, Extreme Rules. I mean, I'm giving you all that one for free, guys. I mean, Jesus. The goods.
The thing about the Shark Cage is that it almost always leads to a foreign item being dropped from it to the heel by the heel's manager or whatever. So my thought is, why do it with bars? Like, do a big plexiglass box where the guy can't reach through it, and then that solves your problem. But oh wait, you don't want to solve the problem. It's one of your little overbooked ways of keeping the belt on the heel champ. So we'll look forward to that.
Ellsworth also offered Paige a kiss backstage. She was not interested. We had Andrade Cien Almas defeating Sin Cara. These guys wrestled like they were bumped from the show for 3 weeks in a row. Sin Cara came out hot with a suicide dive, but we go to a commercial shortly after. In that commercial, we have a Tranquilo pose. Now, there was an awesome-looking move that Sin Cara did. It was a swinging pile driver, essentially. That's hunky-dory with WWE, but an actual pile driver isn't, which is way safer.
Way safer, yep.
A little confusing to me.
Yeah, it was a great move. It was fun. Like, it was one of those things I was watching. I was like, wow, yeah. Didn't they start their feud with like a backstage interview in May? So it's nice that they finally got around to giving us this match. And you know, it serves the story well. It builds. It's going to build Andrade well, and they actually get to see Sin Cara get in some good shots. You know, get in some good offense. I've certainly never seen him attempt that swinging crazy pile driver thing. That's a new one on me, so it's good to see new stuff being done. However, all the people out there are like, see, the WWE is just so much safer. Yeah, yeah, because that couldn't have possibly ended tragically.
Yeah,
come on.
He's turning 41 in a couple months.
Man,
I don't remember Hunico being this good. I don't remember the original Sin Cara being this good outside of Mexico. Damn, man. Sin Cara, he earned that new contract. He is good for what WWE has him do. Well, I will say this, that slingshot Hurricane Rana he did to the outside was not good. He powerbombed himself on the floor.
No, not good.
But Andrade Cien Almas hit that nasty back elbow. It's so good. And I hate Sin Cara holding onto the damn ropes for that stomp spot. Now, on the Q&A show that I did last week, Option Zero, one of our subscribers, asked about Sean Waltman criticizing the Bandera spot. It's where somebody's running into the corner and they get thrown out onto the apron. It's really unrealistic. And Sin Cara avoided that, but then immediately went into the rope hung spot. And I'm like, damn it. In my match ratings, I would have probably given this a 6.75, but him doing that one spot shaved just a little bit off for me, man.
Yeah.
Knees in the corner get the win. No hammerlock DDT here, but a good match regardless of what I thought of that spot and the slingshot Rana.
Yeah, I mean, I always read too much into stuff. It's part of my sickness. But I really hope this isn't the beginning of them doing away with the hammerlock DDT and going back to the double knees in the corner as his finish. Because double knees in the corner finish almost in NXT is not a guy I want to go back to. I'm almost waiting for Vince to have found video of him entering to the ring wearing suspenders and that hat and be like, now that's the guy I like. Because I don't trust Vince with any of my, so I'm just worried. worried so much because they kept this. He had 2 damn matches since he was called up before tonight against squash opponents. Like, why are you hiding this guy? He should be in a title picture. He's so good. Let him be good.
Great storytelling is not done in WWE these days, and that really hurts me because there are so many great stories to be told. I don't know.
Yeah.
Kane backstage quotes "This I promise you" from NSYNC. Why not?
Yeah.
Why not?
Sure.
We get a chaos promo. And then this match, I don't know if the beginning was good. I don't know if the first 10 minutes are good. You want to know why? Because in a 5-minute period, one commercial break ended, another started and ended, and then another one started. 5 minutes. They went from the end of commercial break to a pay-per-view commercial break to the final commercial break. I couldn't get started for this match. Who plans this shit?
I don't know. The same people who planned to have Samoa Joe versus Ty Dillinger on the show at some point, and then we're like, whoops. Was this? Oh, we thought this was Raw. We thought we had 3 hours. Whoops. I don't know. This was bad. I wish they wouldn't do that. I wish they wouldn't, because they do that little, like, oh, hey, up in the left-hand corner for people in America, you can watch in tiny, tiny picture-in-picture, you can watch some of the match. But it doesn't help because they only do that for one commercial break in a match. So if you have 3 in a row, we're not going to get to see that. So yeah, it was not great because I'm super into all these teams.
Oh, and their teams, the Bar and Usos can't even get on the show right now.
Think about that. The Bar and the Usos, the guys who held the championships for as long as, like, throughout most of 2017 on the respective shows, are now on the same show on SmackDown, and they're on the sidelines. They're just not on the show. Like, I don't know. I don't know.
Match rating for this probably would have been higher. Those release every morning after the shows, but I didn't get to see much of the match. I missed so much of it because of commercials. It was weird. Harper gets a nice Michinoku driver. I love that tornado DDT from Xavier as well. Daniel Bryan gets a hot tag and tries to get a yes lock on Eric Young. I believe this is the first time they've ever wrestled, and they've both been at it for almost 20 years, Alex.
Yeah, I know. It's interesting because, there's the thing of, like, Eric Young was basically playing the Daniel Bryan part in TNA for a while. So it's kind of interesting that these guys are together now. This is interesting. Like, I'm really interested to see this. I mean, you could totally sell me because they're basically working the same gimmick, let's be honest, of a Sanity Bludgeon Brothers giant 5-man faction that just wrecks stuff. Because they're basically running the same stuff. I mean, if you saw Killian Dane come out next week with an animal skull on his face, you'd be like, yeah, that fits. So we also get everything breaks down. Black hole slam from Harper. Big E launches Kofi over the top rope. Big E with his YOLO dive on Dane. And then Bryan wins over Young with his big knee. Sanity have not won yet. I think, well, we'll talk about our predictions momentarily. Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
Anything?
I mean, no. What you're talking about. I want to talk about that because to me, we're starting with.
Well, to be fair, we're just talking about the in-ring here. There was no storyline progression.
No, none. None. Sanity versus New Day this weekend starts this feud. I'm hoping this feud lasts for a while because 6-man tags between the New Day and Sanity are all kinds of fire. Also, you have no shortage of singles and tag matches involving in those guys that I want to see. Like, set aside 12, 13 minutes on some random episode of SmackDown on the dog days of August when you just got to fill time and give me Killian Dane versus Big E and let those two guys bruise the hell out of each other. Like, I want to see that. Like, that'll be some good stuff. But don't screw it up. That's all I got to ask is just don't screw it up.
Match was fine. It was fine. It was fine. But this was a nothing happening show. A stipulation got set, and that was it. That was it. Let's go ahead and talk about WWE Extreme Rules. Of course, Fightful.com will have full live coverage. Come over there to our live discussion. I'm going to start doing giveaways in random live discussions here and there. We've got DVDs. We got merchandise, all kinds of stuff to give away at Fightful.com. So you never know when I'll drop in on any particular live discussion and say, hey, giving this away, run a contest, maybe a trivia deal, maybe random. I don't know. Let's make our prediction. Tables match, Sanity versus New Day. First off, I like that they're making this a tables match. It's different. Sanity's winning this.
Yep. Yeah, I like that too. Too many of the matches so far on Extreme Rules are just regular singles matches. Like you got Lashley versus Reigns, that's just a regular match. You got Styles versus Rusev, that's just a regular match. You only have one Extreme Rules match, and it's Nia versus Alexa. So you give Alexa the opportunity to use the kendo stick a few times. Like we don't have enough Extreme on the Extreme Rules pay-per-view. So I'm really happy it's a tables match, and I'm really happy that I believe Sanity will get their first win. I think they'll do a little beatdown afterwards. I think they'll look really strong, and it'll give New Day some fire through this feud to extend it through into SummerSlam. Looking forward to that very much.
Yeah, I think Sanity need to win this. It's the right kind of match for them to win this. Really wouldn't mind Sanity making tables their thing for a while.
Sure, somebody's got to do it. Dudleys are long gone.
Long gone, and people are not going to stop chanting, we want tables, so give it to them.
Oh.
Bobby Lashley, Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns is winning this match. Jesus Christ.
That's the thing, is it's just a weird thing. I mean, if you were at all interested in story, it's the perfect thing to give Bobby the win here and then have Roman be set aback for a second and like, wait, I thought I was the big dog, and now he's got to change his tactics going into SummerSlam because apparently we're not going to have a Brock Lesnar match at SummerSlam. So
I don't know what the hell we're going to have. Anybody who's pretending that they know doesn't know, because I don't know if Brock knows right now.
Right. But I guess what I'm saying is, you're right. Roman Reigns is absolutely going to win this thing, but that kind of ends all story progression right there. If he comes up against a new guy who's stronger than he is, delivers the spear harder, like has a counter for his best stuff, that's a story you can run with and have Roman have to fight from underneath against a guy who's actually bigger than he is. But instead, you're probably just going to have, Roman fight from underneath the entire time. Superman punch, spear, win.
With the Brock thing, Brock ain't telling the terms of his contract to anybody, by the way. Right. He's not gonna. He doesn't need to. But, like, whether it's multi-year, whether it's one more date, originally it was only through SummerSlam. Yeah. The terms have changed at some point. Like, whether it's one match or if it's frozen now because of the UFC thing, there are so many question marks around that. Braun Strowman, Kevin Owens, steel cage match. Here's the thing. I think Braun will win. But if Kevin Owens wins by escaping, that would make a little bit of sense. I mean, he's trying to get away from Braun Strowman.
The best thing they could do here, I mean, the problem is they've already spent a lot of your cool cage spots you can do in this moment. But if Kevin is able to escape through the door or over the cage, and he's just standing there at the bottom of the ramp, and he's like, "Oh my God, I can't believe I won." And then Braun just kicks the side of the cage off its hinges and chases him out of the building. I mean, hey, it doesn't this isn't for anything. The briefcase isn't on the line. It's one of Kurt Angle's meaningless matches. But I think that Kevin Owens should win. Aping, because that's what he's been doing this whole time. Because Braun is bulletproof.
Yeah. Dolph Ziggler, Seth Rollins, 30-minute Iron Man match, Intercontinental Championship. So I think that Seth Rollins shouldn't win because he's red hot right now.
Yeah.
But if that's the most important championship on the show,
yep, by default it is.
Probably should win. But at the same time, you've got Ziggler meaning something right now, and you also have Drew McIntyre really meaning something after Monday.
Yep.
I'm torn on this one. I'm torn on this one because I don't have a damn clue what's happening with Lesnar.
Yeah, it's so weird. You know, like there's all these things that you could absolutely see. I don't know when it's going to happen, if it's ever going to happen, but a perfect time for it to happen for Dean's comeback is to be Seth's tag partner against these two guys at SummerSlam. That's a match people will be really excited for. And I don't think it matters which guy, Rollins or Dolph, has the belt at that time, if they're going to do it that way. I could also see Seth retaining and Drew saying, okay, now it's my turn. And having Drew go up against Seth in a title match. There's a lot of things you could do with this here, but I think the safest bet is to have Dolph retain via Drew interference at some point, giving him the one victory padding over it, like 5-4 or whatever, 2-3.
Yeah, I'm going with Ziggler. I think you should keep McIntyre and Ziggler hot. Rollins is going to be over no matter what, especially if you cheat him.
Yeah.
Bludgeon Brothers defend against Team Hell No. You can either put the titles on Team Hell No or you can do the inevitable split here. What do you think?
I don't know. Gosh, I mean, giving them the titles means to me that's a transitional team. They're not staying together for the long haul. So who are they transitioning it to? Because it looks like Sanity and maybe they're transitioning to the Bar. Maybe the Bar get the Smackdown tag deals. I don't know.
I think there are a lot of teams right now. They have a great tag team division on SmackDown. They really
do, but I feel like Sanity and New Day are probably up against each other for a while. At least that's what I'm hoping. I think the Bludgeon Brothers keep it because I think they want to have those guys be the monsters with the belts for a long, long time. That's what it feels like to me. They're building up those guys as.
Reminder, guys, live post-show podcast, Fightful.com. We got you covered. Carmella defending her SmackDown Live Women's Championship. Ellsworth suspended above the cage. I think Asuka will outsmart Ellsworth and spray Carmella with the spray and pick up the win.
Yeah, there's no way there's not shenanigans involved, whether or not that benefits Asuka, in a roundabout way, or if that's the excuse they give to have Carmella win again. Shenanigans 100%, and I'd say 65-35. I'm leaning toward Asuka.
The Deleter of Worlds against the B team. This feud has been a wad, just a total wad. Outside of Matt Hardy beating the living shit out of Bo Dallas last night. That was hilarious.
Listen, there are so many possibilities they're never going to do. If Bray Wyatt has had Bo Dallas as a sleeper cell this whole time,
to overcome Curtis Axel,
but like the idea that like Bo Dallas, who is his actual brother, though they never talk about it, like if he hypnotized him 13 years ago, and there's like a phrase he can whisper in his ear that turns him into a perfect Bray Wyatt cult member. There's a lot of things you could do, but no, it's just going to be the Leaders of Worlds winning, which is a shame because when the B team like won that damn battle royal 18 weeks ago, whenever it was, they were hot, and you could have told me right then, let's do a match, let's see what happens. After that match, we do a compound match. Then we got the feud over. But now it's like, here's a match with Extreme Rules. There's really no extremeness to it. Who's going to win? I don't care. Do you?
Yeah, by the time this match is happening, it's 6 weeks after they won that Battle Royal.
Oh, my God. Listen, just put the damn titles on Authors of Pain and have the Revival chase them. And make that every damn week on Raw the best match of the night, because those guys can do it. So do that instead of like this comedy sideshow that you've made the Raw tag team division into.
And they're trying hard. Axel and Dallas have won 7 straight matches on TV, and that doesn't happen very much. And I'm not talking just like, 7 over the course of. I'm talking like for 2 straight months every week they're winning. Oh man, woof. Alexa Bliss against Nia Jax. I hope Alexa wins and we move on.
Alexa's winning, and then she'll face Rousey at SummerSlam.
Yeah, I hope. AJ Styles defends against Rusev. AJ Styles is probably winning this, but I expect a banger of a match.
Oh God, yeah, Rusev gets to work with a guy who's really going to put him over. Like the way AJ Styles bumps, God, like this is going to be so good. Like there'll be a couple Machka kicks that you swear decapitate AJ Styles, and nobody in the business reacts poorly to a 2.5 count better than Rusev. Like it looks like he's just had his heart broken every time that he doesn't quite pin the guy. He's been working that since he was wrestling Cena. He knows how to do that right, and it's going to be a lot of fun. This is going to be a great match, and I think the problem is that the conclusion is foregone. And AJ's winning.
We will be live right after the show. We'll be in the live discussion over at Fightful.com. Guys, hit me up with questions over at FightfulSelect.com. Even if you're not a subscriber, you can just log in, send in your questions. I'm doing the Q&A show this week. Also, I'm doing If It Were a Work, If It Were a Shoot this week. We have Warren Hayes' NXT 205 live review. I have the Weekender podcast. Damn, there's a lot going on this weekend. Subscribing gets you all kinds of stuff. Stupid People Extended, merchandise. We just got a lot of stuff. A new behind-the-scenes segment with DDP. I see you over there wincing at 205 Live.
Hideo Itami just hit his hesitation corner dropkick against Cedric, who was in like the ring steps. So he just got his face smashed into the ring steps. It looked brutal. Good Lord, I love this program.
Well, I can't wait to check that out. Of course, guys, first episode of Warren Hayes' NXT and 205 live show will be free to non-subscribers. Also, I think I'm going to make one of our retro reviews free to non-subscribers soon as well, because I want you all to get a look at that. Those are a lot of fun. Also, here and there on Fightful Select, I drop in and I do an alternate commentary randomly. I did one on Drew Gulak and Jack Gallagher when I couldn't sleep one night. Just, hey, why not? The match is online. We'll do it. So lots of cool stuff there, and we're always looking to add things as well. Follow me at Sean Ross Sapp. Follow Alex at Pawlowski the 4th. Alex, before we go, I want your thoughts. Where does Isaiah Thomas end up signing? If anywhere. Nobody wants him.
Well, I mean, I think you could do a really you could do a fun little, what is it, mid-level exception, the smallest thing that you can give him, the veterans minimum. There's a lot of teams that if he winds up being healthy for half the season and he gives you 20 minutes off the bench and just fills it up, I mean, that's what he's there for. That's what his whole role was before he was with the Celtics. Listen, if he wanted to sign with my Milwaukee Bucks and replace Eric Bledsoe, I wouldn't be mad at him.
Ugh.
Eric Bledsoe's terrible. I don't want him on my team anymore.
Man, you do. I'm a Kentucky fan, so first piss off. But Isaiah Thomas doesn't play any defense. Here's the thing: the Nets have cap space, but they have D'Angelo Russell.
Right.
The Bulls have cap space, but they have Chris Dunn.
Yeah.
There are, who else is there? Okay, the Hawks have cap space. They have Dennis Schroeder.
The Hawks aren't signing anybody.
Yeah, they are going to get better.
No.
The Kings have cap space. No. They have De'Aaron Fox. So, yeah, man, you can't.
The thing about Isaiah Thomas is that he doesn't play any defense. But you know who else doesn't play any defense? Jason Terry, 53-year-old Jason Terry, who is one of our backup point guards. If Malcolm Brogdon is starting, which he should be, and he plays great defense, if you get down by 8 or 10 points in the third quarter and you want to quickly get some back, you put in Isaiah Thomas, maybe he fills it up for you for a while. Then when it's tied up, then you bring Brogdon back in and play some defense. Because the Bucs, when they get down by 8 or 10 in the third quarter, they usually fold. You need a guy who gets you instant offense.
if I were the Spurs, I would try to sign him because why not? He doesn't fit their scheme at all. But what is their scheme? Because I don't know. Because Tony Parker's gone. Kawhi Leonard is maybe not playing.
Yeah. No, their scheme is Greg Popovich starts to think retirement looks good. That's what their scheme is.
Yeah, and he ain't going to the Lakers, which would normally make sense because he already had a round with LeBron. Oh, by the way, the Lakers have Rondo and LeVar Ball.
No.
The Sixers have maybe
a little Freudian slip on your part. What did I say? You said that the Lakers have LeVar Ball. I mean, they do. They do have LeVar Ball. That's the problem. They have Lonzo Ball, but they also have LeVar Ball. But yeah.
The Sixers have like a $100 million payroll, but Markelle Fultz doesn't know how to shoot anymore or can't remember how to shoot. I think he'd be a nice insurance for 1 year. This is a really good indication of any time a fan says, oh, this player isn't loyal. Go piss off somewhere because Isaiah Thomas played through a hip injury that should have had surgery.
Right after his sister died, too.
After his sister died. Oh, and then the Celtics traded him, and he had to get it taken care of.
Yep.
Ooh, boy.
Yep.
Now, the thing is, it's hard for me to say, he should learn to play better defense. He's tiny. We'll see where it goes. Love our NBA talk. We'll do this here and there.
Yeah, why not?
At the end of Tuesday night Smackdowns, because our shows end rather early. We only have 2 hours to talk about and no storylines to discuss whatsoever.
Storylines?
What are more NBA storylines to talk about than anything? Here's a couple storylines. Not storylines. Goldust has surgery on both of his knees. Fandango out with a shoulder injury.
Yeah.
Not big time injuries by any stretch of the imagination. Neither guy was on TV, but still bummer.
Yeah, it's total. Listen, it's a total bummer for me, like my heart, because I love Breezango so much. I think those guys were so great. Still, one of I think my favorite matches of that year was them versus the Usos at Backlash. With all the costumes and everything. And then aside from the comedy of the match, it was really good and hotly contested. And there were like 3 near falls where I thought Breezango was going to be the tag team champions. Like that was so much fun. And the fashion files were great every time they put them on TV. And no more of that. And so I'm hoping that at least they find something for Tyler Breeze to do besides give Fashion Device to Liv Morgan and Sarah Logan backstage.
Also, The Rock appeared on Good Morning America and was talking about his daughter, Simone, and said, quote, she's so smart. We're all so proud of her. She's going into her senior year. She signed with IMG as a model. She was a Golden Globes ambassador. Simone is working hard and has already started. She wants to be a WWE wrestler. I said, honey, whatever your passion is, I support that. And wrestling was good to me. I started my career in Madison Square Garden, so bring it on. She's going to be a champ. End quote. God damn.
Yeah.
The goddamn was my part. Now, usually, a guy in The Rock's position would say, ain't going nowhere near the business, yada, yada.
Right.
First off, whether she's good or not, we're going to see her because there's a woman named Nia Jax on that roster right now.
Yep.
Who it's very clear why she has got her spot and her chance.
Yes. Yep. No, listen, the thing is that, I mean, there's a lot of people who say, well, my kids aren't going into the business. Well, it's like the business part of it is really the problem. Like if The Rock's daughter shows up tomorrow and says, I'd like to be champ by the end of the month, I'm pretty sure Vince is making that happen because that's going to be everywhere. The Today Show will lead with that. Like Dwayne Johnson is the biggest box office movie star. He made Jumanji, the reboot of Jumanji, into a giant hit. This guy he's Teflon, and everyone loves him. Oh, his daughter? Well, let's find out what she's up to, says all the media outlets. So yeah, it would be a huge thing. I don't know if she's any good or not, but I mean, she certainly got it, as they like to say, in the blood.
That's true. Have somebody in the chat recommending we talk Lucha Underground 205 Live, Ring of Honor. I talk about those on the Weekender, Impact as well. subscribe, FightfulSelect.com. The last thing I wanted to approach, a quote from James Storm that really, really stood out to me and quite honestly rubbed me the wrong way. He did an interview recently. Let me track it down. Okay. Talking about the WWE schedule. He says, it's one of those things, I kind of threw it out there, only time will tell, we'll see what's happened, yada, yada. Like you said, I'm getting my shit together. It was more personal in my family life that I had to get together, and that's all taken care of. And then he says, my wife loved for me to go on the road. She's like, get out of the house. I just love to wrestle. That's why I got into wrestling, is to wrestle. You hear people complain about being on the road too much and the travel in the hotels. Pussies. Fuck that. That's what I'm about. Put me on the road because that's what I signed up for, to entertain these people. End quote. A quote from less than 1 year ago, James Storm says why he chose the Tonight's Line with WWE and NXT. Quote, with the schedule of NXT and Triple H was telling me we're going to try to run 100 to 120 shows from here on out through the year and stuff. It's all great and everything, but where I was personally in my life, I couldn't be on the road that much because I had some family problems. My wife wanted to have another kid. It was one of those things that wasn't the right timing for me, end quote. Now, I get it. Family issues. He said he's got that straight now. That wasn't going to the NXT schedule wasn't going to change once his kid was born. That was a little confusing to me.
Yeah. It seems that James Storm has done what they call in the politics. His position has evolved. He's a flip-flopper. And that's fine because I think he wants a WWE contract now. And he wants to be the exec. No. Remember what I said before about how it was too many dates? You can't give me enough dates. I want to do 400, 500 dates a year. That's what I want. That's me, James Storm, the date-going-to guy. Me, James Storm, who loves the road and all things roadish. That's this guy, which is fine. If he's angling for a contract, that's what it seems like to me. Hey, I know a certain glorious fella that he could give a huge boost to if they started hanging out together, because beer money is a lot better than, hey, look at me, don't I look great in my robe, as a character trait.
As a man who we once thought was wise and later turned out not to be, once said, good night, jabroni marks without a life that don't know it's a work. When you work a work and work yourself into a shoot, marks. HH. Guys, he didn't actually put HH at the end of that, so I wonder if it was actually him.
It probably wasn't. You can't prove it.
Listing Your Boy podcast, our flagship, Wednesday, 3 p.m. Eastern, live streaming on Twitter, Fightful Online on Twitter and YouTube. Check us out. We are on podcast platforms everywhere. Most importantly, guys, let people know about us. Let people know that you like us. Just say, I really like the Fightful.com network of news and podcasts. And hot dog, we will appreciate it and likely retweet it. Thank you guys so much. We're out.